Okay guys, welcome to my quick guide on user privilege escalation to root from standard user in Linux using GTFO-Bins. Now if you are a current security or computer science student and you just want to learn privilege escalation, this is a pretty good essential beginner technique to have and to know. And then if you're an active Hack the Box participant, and you'll know that one of the most recent active boxes, traversec, uses GTFO-Bins for the root escalation portion of the attack. Now, if you are a Hack the Box user, you'll know that this forum post for this box has been a lot of fun to follow. All the clues have been very vague. I won't provide any spoilers. It's still an active box, so it's under NDA. We can't talk about the solution, but I have rooted it, and I'm going to talk about the box I used to practice GTFO-Bin escalation with. It really helped me a ton. It helped me kind of learn exactly what I'm looking at and how to leverage it to gain root access. So how it relates to, well, just in security in general, it's going to be just a fun lesson to follow. And it's going to be shocking how easy it is to escalate to root from standard user using GTFO-Bins if all the conditions are met, and I'll go into that. But so I won't provide any Hack the Box spoilers, and I'm going to assume you already have users. So that's going to be a big part of this. You need to already have escalated from unprivileged access to a standard user account. A lot of people seem to agree that with this box traversec user escalation, it's actually much harder than the root escalation, and I agree. So have fun with that. Once you've gotten user, then we're going to go into this and how to move on from there using GTFO-Bins. So real quick to get started, there's a little bit of a setup we have to do if you're going to follow along with me, and I do suggest it. This was a huge help. So we're just going to search here for, let's do vulnhub lin.security. It's going to be this first one here, lin.security1 vulnhub. So when we go in here, we're going to go to download. Again, if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're into security. You're possibly studying security. Probably work in the tech field, or I'm going to assume you've run virtual machines before. So go ahead and download this ISO and just run your own hypervisor. I'm running VMware Workstation here. I downloaded the ISO. Let's go ahead and get that imported here. It's going to run a bit. I'm going to cut it and then get back. But go ahead, set up the VM and spin it up. And we're going to go back to this page here. If we look at the web page for this project, for this box on vulnhub, let's open that. This is the official project page. So it's just kind of describing a little bit about the box. Here we go. We have configured the box to simulate real-world vulnerabilities, albeit on single host, which will help you to perfect your local privilege escalation skills, techniques, and tool sets. There are a number of challenges which range from fairly easy to intermediate level, and we're excited to see the methods you use to solve them. So we're going to be focusing on GTFO-Bins. And all they give you here is user credentials. So if you're following with traversec, again, I won't spoil the method you use to get root, but I'll help you get started. So when you're looking for hints and nudges, everyone's going to tell you to go to GTFO-Bins. It's no secret. Let's just start there. Let's go ahead, spin up the machine here. Okay, let's give this a sec here. Okay, so here we go. If you need a break, go ahead, pause it, but just download that ISO, spin up the VM. They do offer a walkthrough, which will be good to follow after this. Go ahead, go back and do their walkthrough. Just follow it. You're going to learn a ton. So if we do lin.security walkthrough, it's made by the company in.security. They offer security penetration testing, red team services, and they put the box up on vulnhub and wrote the walkthrough. It's pretty cool. So you can see GTFO-Bins mentioned right away, and that's what we're going to focus on. So there are a lot more techniques, and just do the walkthrough. It's good practice, but we're going to focus on GTFO-Bins. So again, we're down here, and we're going to log in Bob Secret. It's right up here. To get started, you can log on to the host with credentials Bob Secret. Okay, so now there's going to be a little bit of setup we have to do. I'm not sure about your guys' setup, but mine's a little messed up. If I do shift quotes, I get @ symbols. And we're going to have to root the box using the first method first to fix this, because we currently really are just a standard user. We have no permissions on this box. So I'm going to put a link to this down in the description for these links, but you're going to have to go to this page here and just follow along with me. We're going to be running this, but these commands to fix this issue, this keyboard input issue, or I had to. You may not have to, but just in case, let's go ahead and just get right into it. GTFO-Bins, what are they? How are they leveraged to escalate from user to root? So first of all, let's go to GTFO-Bins. GTFOBins.github.io. Again, I'll put the links down at the bottom. GTFO-Bins, let's just read the description here. It's very simple. It's a curated list of Unix binaries that can be exploited by an attacker to bypass local security restrictions. So once you've made it onto the system as user, this is one of the first things you want to run. We're going to do sudo sudo-l. Secret. It's our password secret. So these conditions in a real world scenario or in a CTF or a hack the box, HTTP box scenario, you do have to meet these conditions in order to exploit GTFO-Bins. The root account, or the system admin in this case, in the real world it would be the system admin, they had to have added you to the sudoers file, so you're allowed to run. So they'll define what binaries you're able to run in an elevated context, and this is equivalent to the Windows run as command. Just imagine the Windows system admin was able to say this user can run this list of these binaries as an admin without supplying a password. So it's just giving you permissions to this list here of binaries that we see. So sudo-l will list every binary you have sudo access to, so you can run all these in elevated context. Now we're going to start with just right away with the first one, bin ash. We're going to go to GTFO-Bins. Is ash available? There it is, ash. Let's open that. Okay, so it's going to describe it here. It can be used to break out from restricted environments by spawning an interactive system shell. So when you run this binary, it spawns a new shell. It backgrounds your current shell. It spawns a brand new shell. So I would recommend just being familiar with user context, like what user context you're currently running in, and understand permissions. understand the run as command, look up sudo, see what it means, what it does, if things aren't clear yet. So essentially, we're not logging out, we're not changing user accounts, we're not doing any of that. We're just allowed to run these specific programs as an elevated user without having to provide a password. So it's a convenience thing. This is something the system admin, I don't want to say lazy admin, but it's just a convenience thing. Quit asking, just run it yourself. Here you go. Or maybe it's a junior system admin or something, tier 1 tech that gets to help out with some of these tasks. And you know what? You can't have an elevated user account, but you can run this list of binaries, and it's enough to get your job done. So it's kind of following the security principle of least privileges, only give the user enough to just do the job they need and nothing more. That's kind of what we're doing here as a concept. So we're allowed to run ash, we're allowed to run awk, we're allowed to run bash, all these. We're allowed to run curl, we're allowed to run git, perl in an elevated context, even though we're just Bob, just regular user. So let's go ahead and get started. Bin ash. We have ash. We found the ash command, opened it here. We have sudo access, so we're going to go to the sudo section, and it tells us exactly what it does. This command, you run this command, if it's in your list of sudo-l output, then you have the rights to run that binary in an elevated form. So let's just do it here. It's telling us to run sudo ash. Run it. ID. Who are we? We are root. That's it. Who am I? Sorry, my setup's a little weird, but yeah. Who am I? We're root. We're currently home. What's in home? Bob, Peter, Susan, 3 users. Let's go back. Just, one thing I am going to do real quick. If you're following along, make sure we're still in root. Let's create a directory here. So make dir root. Or, oh, we have it here. Okay. I wasn't sure. So if you're going to follow along and you're in root, we're just going to do two quick steps we need to configure and set up really quick. So one, we're going to cd. So again, we're in root. We're going to cd to root. And then let's touch root.txt. Let's create an empty text file. Let's nano v, just whatever. Let's edit it. Let's just do rooted, just a string. I'm going to control O, control X, and save that. Okay, so now we have this root.txt file here, and it's under root. So let's just cat that real quick, root/root.txt, and we get rooted. Okay, so it's just to help us test things quickly and kind of move along. So you could also cat etc shadow and see like your root, your full root. So let's go ahead and clear that. Let's do one quick setup real quick before we move on. I have a problem. You may or may not have this, but if I shift double quote, I get @ symbols, and some of these commands you're not going to be able to run if you're getting this bug. So I'm going to put the link down in the description, but we're going to follow this post here. And since we're root, we're going to go ahead and sudo dpkg dpackage reconfigure keyboard config. We're going to get this here, this pop-up. I went down to Dell. Then scroll up here. Down to English US. And then you should have just a plain English option at the very top there. Default. I'm sorry, my setup's all messed up. But if you let that run for a bit, you can clear. It's not done yet. Okay, let's wait a sec. Okay. So now we should be able to. Everything works now. Okay, so we're ready to move on. If you didn't catch that, leave a comment and I'll walk you through it. I'll message you, but just make sure you can double quote. Some of these commands need a double quote, and I just couldn't do it before. I was really stuck, so this fixed my issue. Okay, so let's move on now. Let's exit. And I'm going to go into a little bit of testing real quick, just because this was new to me. And if you're new to privilege escalation, new to security context, things like this, it's going to be just good for you to follow along, kind of see what's going on. So first, we're going to echo $$ echo $. What this does, it's going to print the current process ID for the shell that we're in right now. So this is an instance of the terminal that we're in. That's our shell. We're going to echo $, and we're running process ID 1943. So now we're going to ps space -aux and see all the processes that are currently running and the context they're running in. So we see Bob here. 1943. What was it again? That was echo $. Process 1943. We see it here. We're Bob. We're running bash, a bash shell. Now if we run that command again, let's go back to GTFO-Bins. If we go back into sudo ash and ID, we're root. Oops. Okay, IDK, ID, we're root. Now we echo $. So now we're in process ID 17956. If we ps-aux, 17956 is an instance of ash, and then we're dropped into this shell. That's what we just ran. 17956. So we're now running as root, and we can confirm here with the who am I or an ID. So echo $, 17956. We're running as root. Let's exit. We're back to Bob. Echo $, 1943. So we're going to ps-aux again. And 1943, we're back to Bob. So we have no privileges again. We have no access. We're denied all over. We're a standard user again. So let's cat that file we created, root.txt, permission denied. Okay, so let's move on. Let's get that list again, sudo-l. We did ash. Let's do awk. We can close these now. GTFO-Bins awk awk, and we have sudo privileges. So again, it looks like awk. Let's look for the man page for awk and see just kind of exactly what it is that it's doing. Pattern scanning, processing language. It's a programming language. Some sort of language processor, maybe program execution. So again, if you're familiar with these binaries, let me know what your experience with them is. I've never used this, but it looks like it does have the ability to execute commands, and that's essentially what we're doing. We're just trying to execute a bin shell or a bin bash. So let's run this one here. We're under sudo awk again, and that's because it shows up under sudo-l user bin awk. So let's run that command, awk begin system. And again, I was having trouble with these double quotes. So if you're getting that bug, that issue, go ahead and set your keyboard config just like we did before. And but let's move on here. Let's do bin. I'll do bash just because it's easier to see the username in the console. You'll see here in a sec. Let's close that out. Single quote. Okay, I messed this up somewhere. Sudo, binary awk. Okay, so we're root id root. Let's cat the file. root.txt. This is our would-be flag, and we've rooted the system. Let's go ahead, exit. If you want to run the ps-aux check again, go ahead and you'll see the process changing every time. It's actually backgrounding your current shell you're in and spawning a brand new shell with the elevated root context. Then when you're done, you exit and you're back. So we're back to Bob. Let's go back, sudo-l. We're just going to do a few more. So I think you're going to start to kind of get the point here. Let's do any of these. User bin scp. Is that available here? There we go, scp. Looks like it does execute shellcode as well. Let's go to the sudo option. Scp, sudo. This one's a little longer here. Let's go try it out. tf equals $. Just go ahead and follow the commands just as they tell you to do. sh0 and 2 1 $tf chmod plus x, make it executable. $tf sudo scp dash capital S $tf x y. Who am I? I am root. ID root cat root.txt rooted. Let's exit. We're Bob. We're back. ID Bob cat root.txt. Permission denied. We're back. So again, just follow the commands just as they're listed here. And it really is that simple. Sudo-l. Let's do script Is that available? Sudo script sudo script -q. Send it to dev null. Did I do something? See, this one I would just move on and try another. It just doesn't seem to work for me. See, I don't need a file write. You can use it for these things too. If you just need to write something like maybe replace a etc password file, drop your own user on the box, replace or add your own SSH keys on a server, authenticate that way. But we're after an elevated shell, so in this case we have so many options, I would just move on. If you know what I did wrong or what failed there, or if you can get it to run, just go ahead and drop it in the comments. But let's go back here. Let's see, we have any of these. Bin vi. Let's open that. Sudo vi. So we're editing, but we're really just running this command is kind of what it's doing. So it's an editor, but it executes this command for us. Okay, so ID, let's go down here. Root, who am I? Root, cat, root.text, rooted. Let's exit. Oh, God, I'm terrible. I'm new to Linux. Sorry, guys. So, finally broke out of VI hell. Let's go back. Let's keep going. Let's do a few more. Sudo-L. Let's do curl. Sure. Curl is pretty common. Typically used just to download scripts, download your enum scripts onto the box, run them. But in this case, we want to break out of our limited shell. So we have upload, download, file read, suid. Looks like we can't really use, can we? This looks like just a file downloader. Let's try it. Sudo curl. Let's try man. I can't really think of a reason you would need to do sudo man. But I guess we're going to sudo man. So we get thrown into this man shell. Now we're going to exclamation mark bin bash or bin sh, and we're root. ID, who am I? Cat root. Root.text rooted. So exit. Q to quit. And we're back to Bob. Cat root. Root.text not the permission denied. We're just standard user. One more. Sudo -L. Let's do Pico. I believe that's an editor. Let's not do Pico. That one's pretty. Those are pretty obvious. FTP. Will that work? FTP. Sudo FTP. So we're Bob. Bin bash root. Look at that. Who am I? Root. So again, system admin wants a technician or a tier 1 support to help out with some of these functions. Like, hey, take over FTP. Just run this. Don't ask. Just do it. It becomes just a daily task. It gets overlooked. Well, now you're root. That's it. 2 lines. Sudo. Let's get out of here. Sudo FTP. Bin sh or bin bash. We're root. Cat. Etsy. Shadow. Full root access. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. But so again, I don't know if this is even going to be allowed. This may be too much of a spoiler, but just go ahead, check it out, just try things, play around. But that's kind of it for the most part. If you're in the sudoers file and you can run your sudo L and see what binaries you can exploit, it's just 50-50 chance from there. You're just about done for the most part. If it's here, you can find it in GTFO-Bins, you can escalate. So it's just a quick little guide on that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you guys have any ideas for any other kind of lessons you'd like me to review and kind of go into. And thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll be working on these. This has been so much fun. So yeah, I can't wait to make a couple other techniques to show, kind of help you guys get started. And this is stuff that I'm researching now. I'm in no way an expert. I'm a complete beginner. I'm only a system admin background. I'm trying to break into security. So let's just all learn together. Anything you guys have, any guides, walkthroughs that you suggest, go ahead, drop them in a comment and I'll check them out. And I'll do the same. I'll share what I find. So thanks, guys.